Oh, whoa, whoa. This is exactly what happens when you fail to make the 9 o'clock start. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see, I have missed the start of Parkrun. I have a very good reason why this week, and that is because I didn't get out of bed in time. So what you'll see is me here panicking a little bit.
Now I'm panicking.
I've got to get my spikes on because this parkrun is entirely cross country. It's a bit of a mad start, but we get into it shortly. Essentially, I am playing a game of cat and mouse. So the original plan was to turn up and put a really hard effort in. That went out the window the moment I was late. I've already lost well over 90 seconds, so I've got so much catching up to do. I put my glasses on and I'm now going to put the stats on the screen so you can see just the speeds, the distance, the pace, the heart rate, everything. Keep an eye on my heart rate on the right hand side. That rockets quite quickly as well. It goes up to about 190 towards the back end of this parkrun. I'm absolutely charging at this point. It's a little bit embarrassing me, and I do apologize to everyone how badly behaved I am for missing the briefing. Very disrespectful of me, but I did speak to the marshals and they said I was absolutely fine to continue.
Well, it's still okay to join in?
So now I'm just getting into it, all this catching up to do. I've got no idea how many people are in this parkrun. I've got no idea where they are towards the front. I've got no idea whatsoever. So it's just literally a matter of putting a really hard effort in and playing a long old game of cat and mouse. And you can see my heart rate already at 174, and we've just got started. My pace top left 258. I was bombing at early doors a little bit, probably too hard. Now this parkrun, this is Cheltenham Parkrun, King George V. Shout out to the marshals as always, do an absolutely superb job. I have done this course once before, but it was a different layout to this one last time. It's all on grass. Conditions today, well, it was around 3 or 4 degrees in the morning. Beautiful sunshine, as you can see, almost perfect. It was a little bit chilly, but it was absolutely fantastic morning for a parkrun. Now the course is undulating, it goes up and down, and there's some little short sharp downhills as you can see there, and there are some short sharp uphills as well, and then there's sort of like a long downhill as we're in now, and then a long uphill which is on the other half of the course. It's a 3-lapped course, but a superb course and a nice change up to do from the Cheltenham Pittville part that I normally do, where there's lots and lots of people. So I've started off pretty strongly. I've got no idea how much I can really give today. I did do a decent track session the night before, but I'm giving it a really honest effort. So the pace I'm averaging there, top left, that's 3:17 per kilometre. That's exactly what I averaged 2 weeks ago in the Barcelona half marathon. Somehow managed to average that over a half marathon, but of course conditions were far more favourable than they were here in terms of running on road as opposed to grass. So the early stages, I'm just trying to find some sort of rhythm. I hit a nice left hand turn here as we can then push on towards the back sort of corner of this parkrun. So many different volunteers out today. Again, thank you to you guys, do a superb job. I would also just say that my stats on the bottom right corner, so the distance ran, that's not entirely accurate because my watch and my camera were rolling a little bit beforehand. So the reason why I was late to this parkrun today and why I'm having to do a little bit of a cat and mouse is because I'm at the second parkrun in Cheltenham, or the alternative parkrun in Cheltenham. Now, usually it takes me 10 to 15 minutes to run to my local parkrun, and this one I thought was the exact same. It turns out it wasn't. It was around 25 minutes. So by the time I got there, I was already completely late. I didn't have the right footwear choice on. So I was forced to have to get my shoes on as quickly as I possibly can and start behind the main group. Just some coming up here, shout out to Dan, you can see him on the left hand side, there he is, give his YouTube a follow. Absolutely top fella Dan is, volunteers for Parkrun, lovely chap, nice to see him on the course. Massive well done mate, and I look forward to seeing your next vlog. Get a little bit lost there, don't quite know where to go, but up this short little bank here, and then it's a left hand turn as we are approaching 2/3 of the way through this first lap. So as you can see, the heart rate already up to 182, and we're not even at the end of the first lap. Now, the great thing about this parkrun is I had absolutely no idea what I was going to expect myself to come into today. I didn't know who I was going to be chasing. I didn't know what the time on my watch was going to be. I didn't know what the average pace was going to be, because there were so many different unknowns in terms of I turned up late. The course doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get some rhythm and routine going, so it's very much off feel, and I absolutely love this kind of running. It feels to me like it's the purest sense. You're not battling against any watch or any metric like that. Of course they're on the screen now just for the viewers' benefit, but it's nice just to get out there and give it a hard old run. All I'm trying to do is just keep moving my way through this park run and try and say hello to people on the way, but also try and keep my head down, keep that effort working. 3:17, 3:16 pace to give you probably an equivalent. There's Matt, there he is on the left hand side. Nice to see you, mate, well done. Great to see you running so strongly, and look forward to seeing you in the next run. Yeah, so to give you some context, when you're averaging 3:15, 3:16, I don't know what's happening in the top left hand corner, it's all over the shop, sometimes that does happen, but when you're averaging a 3:16 or a 3:17, 3:18 pace on the grass, that probably equates to a 3:10, 3:11, 3:12 in terms of when you're running on the road. Because of the difficulty in terms of the surface, it does add a little bit it takes a little bit out of your legs, but that's all part of the fun. As we're coming now towards the end of that first of 3 laps, I've still absolutely no idea where I'm going. I get told to go right here because I can't remember which way the course goes, but luckily the chap behind me told me which way to go. So I keep pushing as I'm moving forward. I'll put my split times as well up on the screen, so my each K splits, I'll put them up on the screen as and when I get to each kilometre. So while there's no overtaking at this exact moment, I thought I'd take this opportunity just to talk to you about my training and what's happening. So as you probably well know, that my Barcelona half marathon was just over 2 weeks ago now, and I'm really happy with the time. 1:09:31 seconds. That was a PB for me by over 2 minutes. I wanted to break 70 minutes. I've been talking about breaking 70 for ages. I did it absolutely buzzing, then had 3 or 4 days in the city with my girlfriend and my friends, and we had the best time ever. Honestly, one of the best weeks. So that was Barcelona, but there's no point sitting still. Enjoy it while it happened, but now it's time to move on to the next one. So next Saturday, I'm taking part in my first ever track race for a 5,000 metre distance. I've done a 5K on the road last year. We did the Cardiff Home Nations, and I got a 15:20, but I'm definitely looking to better that next weekend. I'm not really too sure in terms of what time I should be looking for, but I want to make sure that I do one better than that last time. Shout out to that Chatham Harriers lad. Great to see a Chatham Harriers runner out on the course. Great club. So yeah, I want to do a 5,000 metres. I've got that next weekend at the Birmingham University, so we're going to see how that goes. 3 weeks time, I've got the Midland Road Relays where my team Western Temple will be competing. We'll be looking to finish as high as possible in that one, and of course if we do qualify, which hopefully we do, I actually do have a half marathon booked the day after the relays, but that is only going to be a potential long run, and I might do that with my dad. My dad's racing. I'm not sure he really wants me to pace him, but it would be great to do that one with him. So the training's been going really well. At the minute, we're averaging just over 100 kilometers each and every week with 2 hard sessions in. But all in all, I'm just trying to get the most out of my training and trying to be as safe as possible with it, as well as pushing my mileage. I think I want to do a marathon possibly next year. I believe I've now got a qualifying time for the London Marathon next year, but I don't want to just jump straight into it. I want to do another half marathon that I'm really happy with, and I also want to slowly build my mileage and make sure that I'm competing for a time which I feel really proud of. I don't just want to jump straight into my first marathon. I know I've got a long time ahead of me in terms of my running career. I'm 28 at the moment, and I do think that marathons do take an awful lot out of you, and I'm in absolutely no rush. I've got a lot of things I want to achieve in the short distance, but also it's great at the minute because I'm running with a lot of guys at my running club who are a lot faster than me, and it's been really inspiring to see their journeys and see their progress recently, and having that option to train with them has really seen my own performances increase massively, and it's just helped me to become more professional in the way that I train, the way I recover, and the way that I fuel and eat before running. So yeah, it's great to have a club and friends that you can share this with. So anyway, back to the park run. I'll leave the next 30 seconds just to roll out in raw footage, and then I will jump back in with some commentary in a sec.
Oh, morning.
Well done, guys.
Well done. Good work, well done.
Okay, so we are coming up to the halfway point in the second lap. 3:12 is the pace on the flatter sections. The heart rate is 191, and to be honest with you, this is feeling like a max out 5k. I'm feeling so good at this point, but equally I'm feeling absolutely knackered. There's a slight delay on the time in terms of the pacing, so you can see there where my pace jumps up to 3:39, 3:49, up to 3:50s even. That's because there's a slight lag and difference in the time, but nevertheless you'll see it drop down as you do now in the top left hand corner. So we get back on the straight, and I just try and just pick off each person one at a time. I can see the guy in front of me, he's a really strong runner, but I'm trying to just get as close to him as possible and just one less in my head. Now there does get to a point in a minute where I can start to see the people in front of me start to thin out, and I think I can see who potentially might be towards the front of the field. I can't quite be sure if it is definitely the front man or not, but I think it possibly is. So I just got to keep pushing at this point. I've only got just over a lap or so of running left, so I don't really have an awful lot of time. And as you can see there, bottom right corner, heart rate is now 192. Flipping hell. As we just go around this cone and we just weave in and out of the way of the lovely dog and those two ladies there. So we take a right hand turn, and now it is very much just head down, just keep grinding. I couldn't get past this guy for quite a while, but eventually we draw alongside him. He's running really strongly, and then we just take him around the right hand side here. I'm hoping I can just go a little bit faster so he doesn't latch onto me. I can just keep pushing. Again, I've got no idea if he's in first or if he's in 50th, and that's the beauty of what this park run did. I'm not going to be late again, and I do really apologise for being late, but it's actually been quite a challenge today, and it's got me really sort of focused for this run today, as opposed to just turning up and just trying to go from the front, knowing exactly where I am and possibly easing off if I know that I'm in a strong position. So it's really mean that I've had to focus throughout this entire run today. So there we go, we're just going past for the last time there. That is the finishing sort of straight down the right hand side. We're going past it. So as we start this last lap then, in whatever position that we are in, I want to know from you guys, from the subscribers, or from anyone who wants to comment, I want you to let me know what it is you want me to do in the park run. If there's anything specific you want me to do at park run, or if you want me to go to different park runs, or whatever it is, I'm going to continue to keep running park run. I love it. I think it's a really good event. I think it's amazing for the community. And of course, I will be bringing a vlog to you next weekend, hopefully from Birmingham University, where I try and get a 5 kilometre best. I'm feeling like I'm in really good shape, so hopefully I can just bank some of that half marathon fitness. So it's at about this point here, as I take the left hand turn down the short, sharp little slope, I recognise two fellas who are about 30 meters ahead of me, and they're looking like they're chasing each other, and I'm starting to wonder if these two are the front runners. Now, I have absolutely no idea who they are, but I think I recognise who the back guy might be actually. So I'm jumping onto the path. Now this is a little bit difficult because I've got spikes on, so I jump back off onto the grass, and as I get closer to them, this lad at the back here runs for Cheltenham Harriers, so he's a very strong runner, but I managed to get up to him, and actually I was sitting behind him for a little bit because I'm actually feeling like I've almost spent a little bit too much at this point, but I still know that I've got over a kilometre of running to go, despite what it says on the bottom right hand corner. The legs are starting to feel quite tired now at this point, so hence why I decided to sit in there as opposed to just putting the foot down. I get in front of the chap with the white top on, and now it's time to get in front of this guy on the left, but he puts a bit of a move in there around the left hand corner. But I've taken a bit of a gamble here, and I've decided to put my head down and just push forward and just see if I can put a bit of distance into the two of us and almost try and break him. Not that I need to be breaking anyone, because this is park run and this is for everyone, but if you get what I mean, I've just put a little bit of distance in between us here. Now I've got to negotiate the bin on the right hand corner, and I know I've got to jump onto the path, which is not ideal in spikes. Now this section of the course is really difficult in spikes, because when you're in those nice running shoes, you can get on the path and you can just hammer it and you get that nice energy return from the tarmac. But when you're in this section of grass, it's so boggy. You can see as I go past this puddle here, it's really thick and really heavy, and my pace drops quite significantly. I know at the end of it, I've got to cross back over that path, which is not fun in spikes, and then take a short, sharp, really sharp actually, incline up the slope. That says 6% now. I'd be arguing saying it's even more than that. And now I'm on to this nice long section where I can just open up and give it everything. 306, 308 average pace. That's more like a 5k pace, more like a 3k effort in these conditions. This is easily my favourite part of the course. It's nice and flat and you get a decent amount of distance to be able to get some little bit of rhythm and routine back into your running. But it soon comes to an end because there's a dirty hairpin at the very end. Hairpins are, they're the bane of my life in running. Honestly, when you're racing and there's a hairpin, I always find it so difficult to try and then get back out of that hairpin and get that rhythm going. My quads always feel so heavy. So we've now got just under a kilometre to go and things are really starting to get nice and tasty. I'm putting the effort in here because again, I've still got no clue where we are, what position we're in. It's been a really solid run this today, caused by my own wrongdoing of turning up late to a park run. Entirely my fault, no one else to blame. But we're now getting towards the very back end of this workout and things are starting to feel really spicy. So it's head down now and it's time to just put everything possibly you can into this. I've probably got now, I reckon, around 500 meters to go. I know that I've got to get one more short, sharp incline in me, follow the football pitches round, and then it's just a lap of the track. And as soon as you break it down like that, it's not too bad at all. This is an absolute grueler because the grass is real boggy and heavy, and you've got to do some climbing there as well, so it really works those muscles. But we managed to get our way through it. Now, I picked my head up here and I'm not quite sure, but in the distance, I don't know if that's Harrison Miles. Now, Harrison Miles is a good friend of mine. He also runs at Cheltenham Harriers, where I did used to do some running. So I know if he's running and if he started at the front, then he is absolutely flying, and I've got an awful lot to do to pick him off from here. But I've got no idea if he's just coming out for a nice easy run. So that doesn't affect my approach here because all I'm doing is just head down, giving it absolutely everything. Saying hello to people, which I probably shouldn't do if I'm trying to give an all-out effort, but who cares? It's park run Saturday morning. There's no better way you can spend a Saturday morning. If you're watching this and you're wanting to do a park run, honestly, just go and do one. So there's the marshal. There he is, just signaling me I'm on my last lap, so I need to go now down to the home straight. And it is here where I can just see in the distance, it is Harrison. And Harrison, he has decided to absolutely fly through this one today, and he's left me annoyingly in second position. Harrison, man, how dare you do that? No, I'm only joking, you mate. Fly and run from you, mate. It's great to see you in good fitness, but it does mean that I don't go from last to first, but it does mean that I've had a seriously good workout and it has been so much fun, this one today. So there we go. I'm just coming around the last bend now and I'll leave the rest of this to roll out as raw footage. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's late today, mate. I thought you'd done better than I did.
That's bad.
How late were you to start?
You did what you did off a good couple of minutes.
Right,
Yeah.
I was worried you were going to overtake me. I was just
Well done, mate.
10 minutes late.
I didn't see you to the very end. Well done, mate. Yes, guys, we are all done. That was absolutely comical. Really enjoyed that one today. Tough little course, but a change up from the normal one. Shades are on, got a new trim, looking fresh. Note to self, be on time next time. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Right on time for the parties and Barbies. Strolling with a chunk of green like a golf swing.